Hello and welcome everybody. This is Mechanical Gamer here. This is episode 3 of my Let's Play Satisfactory game. Today, episode is titled The Space Elevator because we will be working our way to getting that. Last time we left off with our iron line pretty much complete. The only thing we are missing is screws. Working on that later today. Of course, this machine here is just about done, so we're almost completely out of materials from this, so we're going to break this down real quick. I did move the Logistics Mark II up to the front for technology because it is, in my opinion, more important than the others. Optical clearance, great. We'll probably hit that one up second. Guaranteed it's going to be second. But we need to find a home for our space elevator. This will give us some time to get ahead on some of the materials, primarily iron plates at the moment. We don't have enough, so enough to really build the platforms that we want to desire. But as we see, we've got our nice, beautiful biomass plant running down here. It's running nice and smoothly. Looks like we're going to need more wood here. That line is now empty, but tier 2 first if we can. That is going to be something we're going to want to hit as quickly as we can. So let's go and change that real quick because I got optical clearing as the label. Let's go change that over to Mark II belts first. That way we can get the progression, get that progressing. So I'm going to select milestone. We're going to switch over to logistics. And we're going to immediately start dumping the materials that are expensive, are we? It's not like rods are going to be a problem. Is this thing done? Break this down. This iron node that's right here is going to be used for other resource collections later. Right now, let it sit blank, but more than likely we'll use it to build either frames or rotors at a later date. Mass. Okay, let's quarry. And we need 50 of the reinforced iron plate. So this is going to be an important milestone for us. We do need the Logistics Mark II. We could speed up our iron production using that. Right now we're only capable of producing 40 iron plate a minute. Put that in place, we'll build 80, because pure veins, iron, or any resource for that matter, produce about 120 per minute off these Mark I miners. So that comes in handy. Oh, look it, we've got 180. Take that. Get 100 of that in stock. Why don't we stop over here? Drop what we can. Teams get ahead on their resources and give us what we need from that. So we also need to pick up some rods. Tell me I programmed these. Good program. Material hasn't gone here. Go down here and everything is running rightly. That'd explain it. 11:30 at night, a bit late to obtain Satisfactory. Yeah, we would have our materials if Mechanical Gamer would have decided to hook everything up the way he's supposed to. Check that before we go exploring. So let's go find a home that where we're gonna put this space elevator. So down here is out of the question. Maybe over here off the cliff. After all, our copper production is going to yield up right in here. And that's another thing I need to check, because I know they've made some changes since the last time I played at this location. Just the one vein still? Yes, it is. So we will be having to find another location. 804 meters that way, so like on that. So that's over by the coal mines that we're going to be using later. Power. Kind of migrated quite a ways because this is where we started. We just walked over here. This is where we wanted to start. I mean, there are some good starts over there on the plains, but the issue with the plains is most of it's normal or impure resource net. And the game kind of does that on purpose. They want you to explore. That's their idea. That's why we only have one copper node here. They're hoping we'll go and explore. We're going to do a little bit of that right now while we wait on the iron rods to produce. They do produce at a 1-to-1 ratio, so that'd be 60 a minute for the foreseeable future until we mark 2 those belts. Hogs here. See what's guarding that. So, copper sheet over there. Rotors. I got some steel pipe. That's a big hog, so 60 megawatts to open it. That's a small hog, so we can't open it. But let's see if we can. Actually, we have to be very careful. We're gonna have to run back to the water if he notices. Force plate. But notice, let's get in the water. So that's something you gotta remember about these hogs. They do not follow you in the water. Once one spots you, rest follow. Keep that in mind. So we may already have the plates we need to move right up into Pier, the Logistics Mark II. And the reason why we bumped this before obstacle clearing is because of its ability. It's going to give us Mark II stealth. Guys here, huh? Quickly, I can get away from them. Break that LOS. Critters don't go that way. So you gotta remember with hogs, it's really easy to escape them. All you have to do is break your line of sight for long enough, then they'll give up and head off back to the starting location. Oh, we do have enough.
Milestone reached. Fix-It would like to remind you of your contractual obligation towards efficiency. Recreational use of belts and lifts does not count towards work hours and will put you on the list. Stay efficient. Don't disappoint. Fix-It.
Okay, let's go and take a look. How much in our inventory do we have of concrete? 110. We're going to put the encased industrial beam, steel beams, and this pipe too. No, there was no pipe, so that. But yeah, we'll get those into our inventory for now. I'm gonna pull out of our inventory. Transfer them to their rightful location, which is the biomass plant down the road here. Now, another thing that comes with the space elevator, we're going to want to start MAM research. So we're going to be finding a new home for our hub. Drop the 9 leaves in there. Drop all the biomass. back to it. Get back to work. That's now the thing. We're gonna start looking into this copper line because we get it up and running. We're gonna advance upward the way we want to. Let's begin working for that. Working toward that. So, Satisfactory 1.1, guys, rolling out on the 10th of June. No longer going to be in a beta state. Perfect. Perfect. We'll build this up first. So, to control this in, I want a path 3 wide. Oh, that's the wife making noise. So we're going to take this path out. We're out of concrete. Oh. If I can hit. No, I can't. So let's not do that again. But we're producing 80 concrete a minute. We're going to have to redo this line a little bit. This is going to have to move to here. Another 3 machines go in. 745 concrete. We'll take it. Oh, berries in my... Or I don't. Have to be very careful for the next... and it says... Yes, your health does come back naturally, slowly on its own. But it takes time. Keep that in mind if you don't have any fruits or anything that you could... Or you don't have any of the inhalers, medical inhalers. You can and you will heal up with time. And this... Because there's really no point in jumping through our machines. Brew factory is going to be over here. We're going to send a belt up and over this pathway for screws, and we'll probably do the same thing for steel plate or iron plate as well. Considering that we will be needing another floor on this factory that will be strictly designated for assemblers. Exactly what I want. I think I'm going to go out another 5. Well, 8. Make it safe. We're going to have to go build some reinforced iron plate. So putting in these platforms is actually a good thing because it's giving the rod line the time it needs to accommodate us there, and it's also giving us some steel plate. We do have enough steel plate and enough iron rod to, iron plate and iron rod to do this job, but more the better. And yes, we're probably going to set up the copper line before we start upgrading some of these belts. So let's get our shopping list in. Vader is back. Nice. So we know for a fact that we're going to need at least 4 smelters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Constructors. They take 15 to make 30, if I remember correctly. Recipe that I think it is. Let's just schedule 6 of these. We know we're going to need a miner. Special that we need. We got Mark II stuff now, so we already have the materials to build these. Conveyor mergers. For the... So let's make this 10. We'll make it 12. We'll make this one 10. Less than 10. 6. Do 8 of those for now. We'll just we'll get rid of whatever we don't need. 2 of these because we're gonna be doing a cable factory while we're at this. Might as well automate both if we're at it. And then we'll focus on belts. Iron line will be first for that because it is lacking. All right, we're gonna highlight optical clearing as our next tech. We're gonna start producing screws because we need a considerable amount. Reinforced plate. Actually, we're going to turn this whole lot into screws, make as many reinforced plate as we can, so that we can begin doing some of these upgrades. That's right, guys. These first few episodes are the tedious parts of this game. It takes time to manufacture things by hand. Soon enough, most, if not everything that's minor will be automated, and we won't have to manufacture anything by hand. We'll be spending most of our time exploring. Via 86 wire. I'm not going to produce 86 cable. I don't want to produce any more cable by hand. 100 concrete and 500 screws. So I think I'll take 500 of these screws and send them in right now. That would have the screws in the optical clearing option. This will be the last technology I probably should search for moving the hub to its new home and preparing to set up the space elevator. Right. Almost up to 500 on the screws. The hub terminal, we'll send the screws in right away. We're not going to anything else because we're going to need much as we can get. Now, when you upgrade, guys, upgrade your line, it is best practice to start from highest level production and work your way back to the miner. That way, you don't have flow discrepancies and jam ups on your miner. Right now, all we can produce downstairs in our smelters is only 2 of them are running east. That's it. With this belt, we'll build around 4 because they do 30 a minute and have 120 coming in. That's 4, 3 times, so 30 times, 30 a minute, 120 divided by 30, basically saying 12 divided by 3. It's all right. Okay. Plus, this is giving, like I said, giving some time for our resources to replenish up there. Primarily our iron plate line, which does not produce that fast. Right, so go. We've almost got back up to 50. off the top of my head. I know it's 12 screws and I think it's 4 plates. But we'll build the copper line first before we start upgrading our belt. Actually, no. Strike that, reverse it. We're going to upgrade the belt first. To the steel line, to the iron plate line. We need to get that up to 80 plates a minute. So, upgrading will double that, so we're going to do that first. This is sucking up most of our rods. 77. Wow. I think if I can get it up to 150 on the reinforced iron plate, that'll be enough to start. That'll upgrade the iron plate line, and it'll probably throw most of the, if not completely, set up a upgraded copper line. We're not as worried about iron rods at this moment because we're not really producing the screws yet, but when we start producing screws, yeah, we're going to worry about it. But getting the copper line up and the screw line up, those are our two primary objectives you see over here. I'm going to add another one. It's going to be just below this one, which is the title of the video. Okay, my cat's locked up. Space elevator. Because we need to get that in place as well. Okay, so we see that we stopped producing reinforced iron plate. So let's take a look and see how many reinforced iron plates there is. It's 6. Let's build what we got right now. Set it, we'll get it all up and running so that way we don't have to worry about it. Should be enough to upgrade the belt, which by the way is going to give us a return of iron plates. So the primary resource used to make the belt always is returned to you. Build the belt, you upgrade the belt. And yes, we can build reinforced iron plates. That's going to be from the part assembly technology, which is the next one we're going to research. See, we do have reinforced iron plate lying on our list of things to build. So yeah, we're looking into that already. Guarantee you the screws are not the limiting factor for our reinforced iron plate production. But when we start mass producing these reinforced iron plates, won't have to. We'll be setting basically at that point. That's when we'll set our Mark 1 belts in our build bar, Mark 2. Both the that's not just the belt, but also the lifters. Now, yes, we can produce these a lot faster than the machines can. So do keep that in mind. You can outproduce probably 2 or 3 assemblers building reinforced iron plate per minute, but the longevity is the problem. The machine will always win because it's producing them all the time. You're only doing it partially. doing it to get the job started or get the job done. And there it is. Our way upstairs now. So we're going to switch back over to our first construction bar. And we're going to head up to the steel plate section. They're actually making the steel plate. Constructors. We'll upgrade the line starting from the cargo container and working our way up, our way back forward to right here at the cargo container and work our way. We'll do the lines first, and then we'll come back and get the lifters. As you see, we've already used up about over half of our plate, more than half of our plate. So this section up here is now fast. We're going to have to produce some more of this, so let's grab the iron plate that we have available. We got 517 there, so quite a decent number of iron plates now. Health is all the way back up. Go produce more of those, and actually, you know, I'm not going to come all the way down here. I'm going to put a workbench up here now, just now. Put up a workbench. Put it up right here. Hang there. Set it up right here. Special item called the crafting. Same thing you see inside the hub. Okay, we're going to start ripping screws out again. Because we do need a crap ton more reinforced plates, reinforced iron plates if we're going to do this. As you can see, we gained some iron plate back from the upgrade. So we will upgrade those into reinforced iron plate and put them right back into the belts downstairs. Alright. This time our limiting factor will probably be the iron rod. We'll run out of iron rod long before we run out of iron plate for the force iron. That's another thing you guys got to keep in mind. You can easily find some of these resources at crash sites. You might be able to find, like we just did there, some reinforced iron plate at a crash site, or some copper sheets at sites. Copper sheet, we're going to be using that. We're going to be using that right away, but we will definitely be needing that and using that when we start building our coal generators, our coal power, which will be used to replace our current setup than just sit there as backup. And it's important to have backup power supplies just in case something happens. You need to do a black start, which shouldn't ever happen, guys. That's why we set up breakers on all of our factories, so that if we have to do a black start because we overdid something, just start throwing breakers until we find out there are enough resources down on the factories that we don't need running. Get those things, and then from there we get things sorted out, add more power, and flip those breakers back on. So do keep in mind your max consumption can climb above your max production, so long as what you're actually consuming, your actual power usage does not. If that happens, you will trip a breaker, and your factory will shut down. Oh, we got enough to make another 100 reinforced iron plate. That's good news. Actually, screws is the limiting. It's plates again that are the limiting factor. That's kind of surprising. But again, actually, now that I think about it, it's not. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 plates, or 2 screws to every plate. But this is allowing for it to build up again. We're going to take this over and finish our upgrades downstairs. And then we'll begin constructing the copper production. And for the copper line, we're going to do 120 ingots. So that's 240 copper wire. And we're going to make it enough where we can make that much cable, so that way when the bin for copper wire fills up, it all overflows into the cable, and then that bin fills up. Eventually we'll have a awesome like that stuff. But right now we need to focus on getting it set up before we start worrying about things like the awesome. You don't see that on my to-do list here, but trust me, it will happen tonight probably. Alright, 34. Alright, down to 20. Down to 15. Perfect. Only a few more seconds here and we'll have the reinforced iron plate. We'll pop off on our iron plate from our container. And we'll be ready to rock and roll. So, another thing is here, we're probably going to drop a staircase in right here when we get catwalk research. So now we're upgrading the belt on our the ones that lead the way first. Some of you may say, why do you do this? I'm doing it just because of me, this is what makes sense. There's upgraded. I'll upgrade this conveyor right now too. It's not going to hurt to upgrade that conveyor. But you're going to see here, because look at how slow this is moving. And there it is. So we just doubled speed. So this doubles the production rate. So we now got 120 coming out of the miner and up and feeding into our production every minute. That should very quickly top off these first two machines and then keep these ones at a steady pace while it's doing that. And see, take a look, in our upgrades we got 81 iron plates for that. So voila, you can actually see that we are getting back some of our resources for that. So this production's about to take a hit. Right now, it's only got 2 machines running at full tilt. What's slow about these? Why aren't these? Okay, that right there explains a lot of everything. Let's just help these out real quick. Take the iron plates off that. Sure that we don't have this issue over here. Rod's coming there. I see Rod. We don't have that issue over here. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, let's get the platform, downstairs platform in place first. Is that where we came out here? Okay, so here we go. Up another 5. Out of concrete. Something like that, yeah. Take care of that concrete problem right now. 810, I'll take that. Of course, at some point, we're going to try our best to make this look better than just 2 slabs floating in the. But right now, resources are rather limited, so that's not our primary focus. Even though in real life, think about this from your perspective, this would have ripped out. All of this would have fallen down long before we even would have gotten it that far out. But games don't have to be realistic. Nothing that. Okay, so there's that. So this one's going to be chiral. to those guys over there. So those ones over there are, you look at them from this angle, they're right hand. This one is the left hand setup. And we'll run the belt on the underfloor. There we go. So let's go take a look and see where exactly I put the guards to. Are they? Yeah, they're in set 1. That's what we're going to do. I don't fall down. And yes, guys, I do plan to get those Blade Runners as I can. I do not like running slow. This is slow. Okay, so we'll set them in right here. One. Course 4. So you're gonna see now that those have popped off our list. Splitters. 1, 2. For now, we'll work with Mark 1 belt. If we don't have enough, there's the wife again. So we're going to set these to copper. We're going to Control C, copy, and then Control V to paste the recipe into our other machines. Okay, we know we forgot power the last time, so let's not do that this time. We'll run power back along the main corridor, which is good. Okay, there's the power to the system. So our next objective will be to drop the belt to the floor. We're not worried about the floor holes right now. Oh, that's right. We don't have undercarriage yet. Carriage stuff isn't. Let's pick these up. We're actually going to grab the miners. We'll just belt it over here. We can always change that belt out later, but platforms. Okay, here we go. And that will be the belt that will supply. Miners, we're not going to hook it up right now, but we will get the power pole in place. So put a pole. We're gonna come in here. Stuff the pole right there. As we'll bridge in. That pole at a later date may be replaced with a breaker, but normally I don't put the miners individually on breakers. Normally I put them on the same breaker as their production, if I can. Really no point in shutting the miners down. That will shut the production down and put everything else down as well. Alright, so let's grab the steel plate on the 3rd floor. You don't need the steel plate. Still gotta finish the plumbing. So take a look. This is the right hand. This goes up on the right. It's gonna go up on the left this time. Like I said, it's gonna be chiral, so for those of you who have watched Breaking Bad, you probably know the definition. That definition is, by the way, guys, accurate. So yes, created this late Breaking Bad, which is any, got that one right. Now, some of you may be asking, why am I setting it up from having my belts run back this way? Same way as I come in. So that way I can easily just expand out this way. If I need more of these smelters, I could just add them in and then just wire them in. And I have plenty of space to work. Now let's see here. If I can get all the way over to my path, or if this is too far away. Remember, if there's distance for R. The wife again, not knowing how to be quiet. Go fishing. Okay, so it's gonna take 15. We're actually gonna need 8 of these right off the get-go. Now, there's no way we could transport this much, so we're gonna have to transport them in 2 lines. Over here, so we'll have to have 2 belts. There's our initial setup, so now we're going to do our splitters. Out of cable. thing. You have to manufacture some. Not like it's a problem. We'll manufacture about 50 of that for now. More than enough to do. Get this line up here too. Send one right to the center here. Copy this. Okay, so we've got them all set up. Fired up. Wire them to power. Like I said, we're going to have to run these to two separate. Our max is 120 on the belt, and we're going to be putting out 240 cables. So what we're going to do, have space here, cargo container here, the cargo container, those to store materials that we're producing. Forward all the way. Keep in mind, guys, that we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are definitely not. This is where we're going to start doing splitter at the end, but mergers. So, copper wire is 2-to-1, and cable is a 1-to-2. So we're gonna build this same plant you see over there, over here, on the other side, but in reverse. Same count on the machines. Everything. So remember, you can't just put in your what's it called. I mean, you could do as you wish, but if you're gonna keep it organized, you gotta do exactly like I'm doing here and keep it organized. Splitters, they go in here, that way you can split the difference. Half goes into the cargo container. The other half goes across, and then when the cargo container is full, it all goes across. All right, so So we're now looking at the beginnings of our cable line, our copper production. I'm actually going to get this ball rolling here because I do have a lot of copper in my inventory. Picked up our miners. Once again, we're going to want to recess this in by 2. And this time, we're going to convert it. So the splitters will be on the outside. Mergers will be on the end. Workbench. Crafting mode. Copper division. A whole lot. Think I got just enough to get the job done I need to get done. Not, then I will have to manufacture. I got enough. Are the mergers? Program them. Cable. Go. It didn't take, so there's something wrong here. B. And this time. Okay, so we're going to put the cargo container pick it. Right here. Are backward. All of this has to be unaffected. Are backward. That's important, guys. Make sure they're pointing the right way. Not pointing the right way, you're gonna have all sorts of things. Now you have to repeat everything. Output. Correction. Voila. So there's our belt hookup. Get our power set up that way. As copper hits this, starts rolling out the cable. Now we're connected till we get everything built in. Let's take a look. Right on the center line. That's splitters. Got a cable. Cable. Last time we got to make cable, guys. Probably the last time. I think 40 should be enough. Come on. So our splitters are going to be pointing this way. Offset. So this is a very beautiful manifold setup. We didn't want to do load balancing early on. We could. There's two different types of conveyor setup. You got manifold, which we're doing, and then you have load balancing, which is the other. Load balancing is great. I mean, you want your factory to start up immediately and start producing at full tilt, then that is the way I'd recommend to go. But we aren't in the game for that. We are right now in the game for getting established. So I made one mistake. I see it. So what I'm going to do, I got to make an adjustment. We have to have a splitter here. Got to be able to split this. And the reason's simple, guys. Don't have to, but do want, when the future comes, all of our extras to run into an awesome sync. Now we can run, and now with that we can do that, but we'll be changing this for a smart splitter in the future. Same with all the other ones that are like it. Alright, production line is set, so next thing I'm going to do, couple it down. Upper floor. Alright, so everything's connected. So the first thing I'm going to do before I power up my miner, I'm going to feed all my copper ingot or copper ore into here. That basically gets it out of my inventory. Tap that, that's going to start up, and now we are mining copper. So basically now the copper age is complete. Need to check that off. Copper line has been built. With that, we can now begin really looking for a location for a space elevator. Put my... I think what I'm going to do here... Actually, I'm not going to put my space elevator here, but I am going to bring my... Gonna get that hub off the ground now. Actually, give it a home in the sky. This probably won't be a permanent home, but then again, you never know. It could become a permanent. Assemble. Cool. I just up. Copper. Alright, so we'll look at our biomass plant. Okay, we gotta focus on that too. So obstacle clearing, we need to get it. Perfect time to get obstacle clearing. Biggest fear is us running out of power down there. Gotta act quickly before that happens. Have a power grid failure that we won't be able to fix. Basically, we'll have a black start of the entire facility. Cut that power plant free, up and running up, and there goes our first copper wire heading over to be manufactured in. Hey, there we go. There's our hub's new location. Couple of okay. Our mammon. And over here, we'll put our workshop. Okay, so we now have our little setup here. Let's a couple of these. Oh, alien megafauna. Research the hog protein.
The remains researched belong to an organism now dubbed the fluffy-tailed hog. It has many characteristics that would likely classify it among the Suidae family were it native to Earth. Hog remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration.
We're going to research spitter remains.
The remains researched belong to an organism that tends to nest near objects emitting specific types of resonance. Spitters are called as such due to their ability to create and spit plasma across long distances. Spitter remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration.
Alien technology, we have a Mercer sphere, so we're going to grab that.
Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, B, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific.
Witness our scripture, witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us a song.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life. While Fixit has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
We have all three of these. Let's get them researched. Then we gotta do biomass.
This fruit, dubbed the barrel nut after its distinctive color, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
Research the berry now. Berry.
This fruit, dubbed the paleberry due to its tendency to stay light in color even when ripe, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
Bacon. Alright.
This mushroom, dubbed bacon agaric due to its uncanny resemblance to raw bacon, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
Keep the rest of this. We gotta take that down. We gotta do some biomass, or we're gonna be risking cut down. Get some of that. Up and running. And we probably want to get that research going. That way we can start clear cutting this forest. Right. I'm going to assume we don't have a whole lot of power right now. Let's get this started right away. Have enough. Looking where our power lines are right now. Front generators will have run out first. They're at $1.54, so we have enough right going. This right here should get us some substance to get through until we get the next generation of that set up. We're going to have to do a few things that happen. First off, we're going to need 2 more cargo containers. We're going to need 2 more structures to produce what I like to call the biologs. They have a different name for it. Remember the name? Solid biomass. Yeah, that sounds right. But we need to get that research. We should have enough cable coming out now that we don't have to or go plate we don't. Our iron rod production. Wait. Oh. Right. So we'll grab the cable. 168 total. That's not bad, guys. Not bad at all. And now we will just come over here. Boom. Send it up.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month? You could be if you construct, automate, explore, and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated, fun.
Let's actually go back to that. So we're going to need at least 1 more iron plate, 1 more reinforced plate, and 160 screws. So let's get the plate first. 160 screws. And let's actually make sure that we get the chainsaw, and then we'll come back and build the 4 reinforced iron plates. But make our upgrade first. Then cutting down the floor. Start clearing out this space around our base. Alright. Off. That. Voila, there we go, chainsaw's ready. So we need to down over here say ops clearing is now completed. And that, now we're gonna go and take care of what we need on the biomass, on our bio lines. Any biomass on the Sounds like our trader is back. Figure run the chainsaw only runs on solid biofuel. So. Okay, so before we put this into our constructor line, we're gonna put in the solid biofuel. Construct this line. Construct this line. Put these out far enough as well where we can plan for the future, but I don't build these type of plants up any further than they already are here. Drop in the cargo containers. Lined up, too. Make this belt look like crap. Now, I could start picking everything out of these, but we won't. What we're going to do instead is feed them in to where they need to be fed. And let them do their magic. And they won't fill into these units until they empty. So. Because we're going to take the first two of these anyway. Because we need to run our chainsaw. I'm going to say let's get up to 30. And we'll go and run the chain. 32. Let these start to. All right. So now we've got the chainsaw. Start taking down some of the plants. Start taking the area that we've decided to settle more bulb. Preparing it for factory expansion. And freeways that will be up in the sky around here. Because I don't like to use these dirt paths for pathing my trucks and tractors. I do not find them to be as accurate. cutting it down. Got a lot of trees through. And we're going to be getting ready to start on that tree line. How's our power consumption? That was about half. Keep going without having to add more biomass burner. Although we will add some more just before we set up the full power. Just to ensure that we have enough to get that line started. Now, by the way, guys, it's the only line, biomass is the only line that doesn't require any input from the user to get running, or any input power to get running, excuse me. You can actually start it up by just putting in leaves and wood if you had to. But we did not do that with that factory. We power from our hub to do that. Don't start that facility down there. Making biomass. Now we're doing solid biomass. Down there. Or we will have to got some. Alright, we'll take down a couple of these guys because they're encroaching on our production lines of stairs. That right there should be enough biomass going for a time. We really want to get it going to that point where we fill up both those containers. Like if we got the resources, maybe I should add another 6. Nah, we'll wait on adding another 5 or 6. Really need to get the screws up and running. Start looking hard to assemble. So you can see we got the biologs sitting there waiting. Some of our facilities, I think, are on biologs right now. No, they're not. They're all still running on the plant matter. We'll let it continue doing that until it runs out, and it will transfer over to biolog. All right, let's go get the screw lines up and running. This will get us up and running into the next stage, which Andy also go and tell the technology part assembly that we would like to start looking at that as well. Yeah, we're getting closer, guys. A lot closer. One level. Okay, I need concrete. Let's go put all the stuff that we don't need that picked up by accident back in. Iron plate or steel case industrial. Drop our extra. about these. Nope. Oh, we have almost 1,500. Kitty. Almost at 15. I don't know what your plans are, but sitting towards not. Sit there on that. Back my. Okay, so we can see that that's a meter higher than this is, so. But it's perfectly aligned. That's what we were looking for when we built it. Okay, so now we're going to begin building the screws. Screws are a bit different, okay? Quite a bit different. So this one here is not like the 2-to-1 or the 3-to-2 ratios we've seen before. This is a 4-to-1. So for every rod, you get 4 screws. So it's a 1-to-4. It turns 1 into 4. So 4-to-1 ratio, 4 screws per rod. So I need to build a bunch of reinforced iron plates again. And let's also start with the part assembly technology. We're going to need screws for that. We already got a lot of these requirements, so let's just grab the requirements that we can. And you can see that's coming along very nice. Okay, so I'm going to put the cargo container for this one right here. It's going to be multiple cargo containers, guys, because we can only do 3 every one, so we need to prepare for 120 iron rods coming down, which means that we need 12 of these things. Okay, which means we need 24 reinforced iron plate to build them. But we're now getting to a point where we won't have to manufacture screws anymore. Then once we have our last research part assembly, we'll put another level on this and we won't have to manufacture reinforced iron plates anymore. And once that happens, then we'll be able to start upgrading all of our belts to tier 2. And with those tier 2 belts comes a better way of transporting goods. Means that instead of making 60 a minute, under 20. All right. So we're going to set this up like it's a 120 belt. So we'll set them up in pairs of 3. And we want to run the conveyor out to a cargo container that's right behind them. So we're going to put these in a perfect line here. We're going to inset them by 2. By 1, actually. we're going to do this one a bit differently. We're going to really compact this. And get these guys right on top of each other. Splitters. Our power. We'll program all of these guys back. Okay. So we've now got that up and running. Let's get this program for screws. Like I said, you're going to see it's 10 rods in, 40 screws out. Okay, there we go. Get it all belted up. That way we can move on to the next section. Now, we do have a limited amount of resources right now, so we definitely are not gonna just produce only reinforced iron plates. We're gonna want to produce rotors with this as well, because space elevator parts are gonna require that. You can see we're getting really close down to being able to build this guy. I think I want to put it out on the lake over there, because I want to keep this space that we've got up here free for production. Keep that conveyor up high. So yeah, we want to elevate that conveyor. That's what we got the towers for now. There's something wrong. So. Oh, yep, shoot now because it's backwards. I gotta redo them all. So you can see we've already got our iron rods over here, but we don't want to run that line in yet. Already got those running this way. Let's get our logistics set up properly first. To screw the boxes, cargo containers in. Let's get that in first. Mergers. We're gonna run the back up to the front like we always do. Except that we'll have a screw box back here. Because we don't have enough, our technology belt is not going to be able to carry 240 screws for something. Oh. Good. Oh, this is going to do our power. Does like you can always go. I'm going to go add more biomass after this is away. That way, double down on the power needs. I know we're going to be popping it up in this factory. And each of these is 4 megawatts, and we've got 12 of them, so do the math, or I could do it for you, and mathematically that equals 96. We'll run these cargo containers. We'll just bridge that one in. And we're doing 4 cargo containers for this because the belt can't handle the load. Otherwise we'd only do 2, one on each side. But screws are one of those things that really can't get enough of them. Okay, let's connect this up to grid and see just how bad the power draw is. 96. Ah. 48, so these are drawing, yeah, it's 48 on 4 times. Over here, this is power. 100 we've got. All right. Oh, what's over here? So. Fine. And while we're waiting for it to make the screws that we need to do the research, let's go find a home for that space elevator. We may not get the reinforced iron plate tonight. get pretty dang close. Iron plate with it. Well, we got a lot of iron plate now, that's for sure. Lots of screws too. Got some concrete. We're gonna go find ourselves a home. The space elevator. Oh, we need to grab some wire. Space elevator needs copper wire. Barely just like that. Alright. Port, that way we can see everything we've got. About 1,500 concrete. Let's put it on our roster of things. That way we can see if we have all the inventory. We do. Concrete only 500. So I'm going to put the space elevator. I would like it down in this. But up at the level of this. Let's bring that on out. Now, we're going to need the platform, guys, to do this, so need a decent amount of it. So 8x8 for the space elevator. Right now, we're just killing time to get the until we get the screws in. Might get lucky if we get part assembly pretty quick. Then yeah, we'll be calling it right around the 2-hour mark. We go out another 10. Then I am gonna go take this out. Little layout. We're gonna do a 12x12 platform for our space elevator. Iron plate, that's good. All the junk over at that one. Screws by the looks of it. Where's that plastic? It's screws. Got iron plate. We've got reinforced iron plate. Wire, a rotor. Trade that later. Okay. Space elevator. Put a tower up right about climb up. Alright guys, we're gonna place it So you can see what I mean by you need at least, I'd say 7, but yeah, we did what we did because it gives us a little bit of extra room. Boom. Watch the fun, guys. Here comes the maneuver, comes the crane. Tether. I see a glitch. They need to fix. And there we go. Space elevator seated.
Project assembly initialized. Congratulations, Pioneer. The space elevator will now automatically connect with the Project Assembly orbital platform. Project assembly is divided into phases, each of which require the delivery of project parts, such as smart plating, via the space elevator. Subsequent phases unlock access to new tiers with more advanced technologies to construct, automate, explore and exploit. It is time to be honest. This project is part of the Save the Day program, the largest united undertaking in human history, destined to save us all. Earth is in peril and only Fix-It pioneers offer hope for survival. Fix-It is counting on you. Humanity is counting on you. Do not let Fix-It down.
Let's see how we're doing on the food production. Ooh, wow, guys, we are. These ones have 12, so this got nothing coming in. So very little has hit these back containers because the rods aren't making it through. But we're okay with that. We've got the screws we need to build a good chunk of iron plates, but we've also got the wire. And we've got the screws. Send them up. Part assembly.
Milestone reached. The assembler can produce more complex parts, including the first project part, smart plating, which is crucial for initiating project assembly. Project parts must be delivered to the space elevator. By completing your contracted duties as part of project assembly, you will definitely be helping achieve Fix-It company goals without any other ulterior motive. Note: humans cannot craft project parts. Do not worry about your inadequate crafting skill when compared to an assembler. Fix-It cherishes your innate human abilities, such as walking, striking objects, and commodifying natural resources.
All right. I think around 2 hours we're going to be getting our mark. We'll have the part assemblies already in. I got to label that. Get that label. Part assembly. Now, reinforced iron plate. We're going to get that up and running. So let's take a look and see what it takes to build these. Assemblers require rotors. I need some rotors. What required to build? Screws and rods. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna set up a rotor line too. This will come in handy for. First, we'll do the reinforced iron plate because, heck, we're gonna want at least 3 of those. So let's go and get the platform that we're gonna put the platform above through line. We'll put a staircase right here. Concrete problem, how nice. I have to jump off the ceiling now. We have this path that goes down to the floor of the concrete factory. Not like it's a problem. We don't need a whole butt ton of concrete, just enough to get us through what we need. That's probably going to be barely enough. Get to start. We don't need a whole lot of floor space to begin with for these. Okay, so here's our way up. Yep, wife's being a bit loud again. There we go. It's down. We're out of concrete again. Nice. So concrete is our limiting factor right now, but once we get this up and running, that will put us in good shape for production. Producing reinforced iron plates, that is. And we probably should get the floor in, go and produce some rotors, get that up and running. So we're going to get those lines, both those lines up and running. We'll build another factory that does nothing but modular frames. I might do it off of this node that's down here. Ship it over, ship that line over to here, and put that whole setup over here somewhere. We don't want to have it take up the floor space that's already here. This floor space that is in this area is reserved for these productions, both directions. Okay, so that's the floor now in place. Let's go and produce. Oh, so here comes the pod. Rotors. Let's produce. We'll just make all 11. To eat up most of our screws. Okay, and I don't think it takes 11 to build them. I'm gonna do reinforced plates on that side, and we'll do rotors on this side. Let's find out how many iron plates, screws we're going to need to build these. So this one here is going to require 60 and 30. So we're going to have 3 of them because we only have 80 steel plate. We're going to inset them back here. This will start. 1, 2. That's rotors. How nice. So it's 4 rotors per. I need some more screws to do that. Here we're going to be just around the 2-hour mark. Wrong production. So rotors are the expensive one. They require 100 screws, 20 rod. So keep that in mind. You can tell because it's a 5-to-25 ratio. So, and I know for a fact that it produces 5 a minute. So, yeah, quite a bit. But these are good. This factory is going to be used to also produce smart plating, which will take over to the space elevator. There's my 2-hour warning. We're going to keep going until we get this all set up. Now, if you set this up right, be able to come from here and you'll go directly into the pipe of the facility without having to have this one. This one will be our screw. That is not right. So I want these to line up beautifully, guys. Okay, keep that in mind. So we'll have one run off the side. Have them. That's too close. So the way to do it is go and take a look. Okay, go 1, 3. So our assembler factory is now looking really good. Your power, we'll do the power on the back side of these. Some programmed to reinforce iron plate. Perfect. We're going to have those reinforced iron plates store right here. We'll put a splitter in for them because yes, they will come in hand. We will want to split because we're going to want to send some of them to production for the space elevator part. And we will run run these towers onto the top of these guys. Okay, so now we see that we got that. Get up to the grid downstairs. And let's get this guy, that cargo container. Oh. Splitter. Nice and up. And voila, now we've got ourselves the reinforced iron plate, which is the first thing we want to produce, set up. So let's see. We're going to run this guy right here. Run it on a pole. Here. See how this lines up with our cargo container. Actually, this lines up really well with this cargo container. So this one will be the screws. And of course, we have the iron plate. A cat screwing with my key. So this right here is going to start the production on reinforced iron plate. This will finish our objectives tonight. We'll save the rotor production for the next episode. Oh, this is still the path, so right. Not like concrete, something that's going to be hard to come by. We're probably doing pretty well on it downstairs. Pretty, it's actually not light sitting there. Come up to here. I see a mistake. Fix it. Find it and let's fix it. I think the mistake was on my part. I grabbed the wrong one up. right on up. Once this is connected, we will have start force iron. So let's go and produce a couple force iron plates of our own real quick. All of them coming in by hand without having to grab screws. Let's take care of that. Then we'll consider this a constructed facility now. Did meet all of our objectives tonight, but we'll do a little bit of bonus here, and that is to get the force iron plates. Get some of these pairs to Mark II tonight, and then call it. And the next time I'll be stream will probably be Saturday morning. I don't work on Saturday. I have nothing on Saturday. First half of the day. And I don't know if I'm going to do this game or if I'm going to do another one of another game. I might do, thinking Dice and Spear might be a good one. Start up a series on, but right now it might be just sticking with Satisfactory and maybe one of my newer games. If I decide to go with the newer games, it'll probably be. There's the cat. Screw it again. A Planet Coaster 2. Pick that up. So what we're going to do is upgrade that steel belt, that iron plate belt heading up to iron plate production line. We should be able to get normally, like I said, I would go from the output back, but this production is slow, so we can get away with doing it the other direction. Okay, we've already got 12 in inventory. Just sped that up, and let's see, 120. We're gonna actually need to pull from this down here to make up the difference. 120. We're gonna need 180. So yeah, that's gonna be quite a bit. Technically, we're not quite finished with this screw line, or this line. Get it fixed up and get it running. Try to get it up and running at full tilt before we call it a night. We'll go convert all these into reinforced iron plate by ourselves. But this is not going to give us enough to get that screw factory up and running at full tilt. But it will be pretty close. . We're now at the point now, we're getting to that point now where we don't have to produce these components by hand anymore. We can actually build a factory for us. All the basic components of Tier 1 and Tier 2 are being built. And even some of the advanced ones now, as we with the reinforced iron plate. That is an advanced component. They're building it. Now this is going to require, what we're about to do is going to require an upgrade to the reinforced iron, the iron rod line. We have 4 right now, producing 30 a minute, 20 or 15 a minute each. That's a total of 60, and we're getting ready to upgrade to 120, so we're going to need to increase the number of constructors by 4. So let's do that as well. Get ourselves in a position where we're ready for the next objectives that we're going to set ourselves for episode 4, which will be coal power. Will be the coal power milestone. So that will be the go-to objective for that. So let's show you how this works. There's an assembly line. Some people may say this is not the smart idea, but let me show you why I do things like this. So we got our factory here. We need another 4 of these constructions. Okay. If I would have built it the line with the output over here, then I would have to fight with it. And have to figure out and probably have a very nasty looking belt out of place, carrying my product back. So again, guys, I feel sheepish. We're not going to connect this to the grid yet. Connect the power. We're not going to pull. We're not going to collect the connect anything else. Grab that power slug. Right now, I'm more concerned with getting my base up in there. Get these connected, output, and then connect the input. Let some of the iron rods come. It's going to knock these from 100% to a lower percentage. So let's go collect that in the all reinforced plate that we have upstairs. And we'll put it to work with the iron plate, reinforced iron plate that we currently have. First thing we're going to upgrade is our screw lines. Start with the ones that are active. That's this one here. All right. Now we're working our way back. We've worked our way back. Now we're going to work our way over on this side. Okay, so we've got the logistics side of it. We're gonna go cut some more iron, some more of this now ourselves. So this is just the way it's got to be for the time being. Now I'm gonna let this sit, this line right here sit, and let that side sit. Let's focus on getting this one up because, as you can see, we have a maxed out line. And I could probably max out that line that's producing screws if I just focus on that. And I don't have to worry about making screws. But that's going to probably cost us more than 100 plates. So to upgrade this set of lines that we're getting ready to upgrade, should we take into consideration the fact that it's multi-level? A lot of people at this stage don't do multi-level factories. They usually do everything on one, and they have to tear everything apart later and fix it. I've had that issue time and time again, so I've decided to come up with the idea of let's do multi-level. That way I'm not having to tear down my entire factory to build it. I'll run some screws here. We're starting to look good now. A 16 iron plate. That we have in our inventory 33 right now. We want to get that up to about 140, 150. And that 140, 150 mark is a good spot to hit. I'm going to keep going on the iron now. Run our entire rod production, or our rod inventory out. We're doing upgrades, so it's not like a problem. And then, of course, on Saturday, we will upgrade the wire and cable factory lines. And then we'll start. And then we have to go down and do biomass plant as well. We're going to add probably another 7 or 8 burners. At least probably 8 more burners, maybe even 10. So that we are ready to rock and roll until we get coal. But coal is the objective that we're now shooting for. That will be the first technology we research in the Tier 3 milestone. But we can't unlock Tier 3 until we get the Phase 1 objective out of the way. Is there smart plating, if I'm correctly. That's smart plating. We have to build that. We can't build that by hand. Done in assembler. And we're going to need rotors for that. We'll probably put that up on another level. Going to be getting ready also with the resource sync bonus program. You can see we've got that queued up. We could probably hit that one before I leave tonight. Once we finish this upgrade, that's an easy thing. We'll just go collect the resources, dump them into the hub, and off it goes. And of course, we'll do jump pads too, even though I never really used a jump pad. In my opinion, it's kind of a worthless technology. It really becomes even more worthless as hypertubes roll out. And once you also have the blade runners, it's like, wow, there's really no point in this, because you could run about 75 to 80, easily outrun the tractor, programmed tractor that's running a route with the blade runners. But blueprints, I'm looking forward to those as well. I don't remember, I think those are a tier 4 asset. And we're going to be doing a few blueprints for our highway system. It's important. There's going to be some important technology that we're going to be developing there, because driving on the ground is great and all, but you run the risk of flipping tractors if they're running themselves. Trust me, you don't want to spend all your time having to go and pick up tractors. We'll set up a highway system. That highway system, as expensive as it may be, will be transporting several things. One, it'll have vehicle transport, and two, it'll transport cable, power cable. And later on, it'll come in handy. You have the cover pack. It requires a constant source of power from your build these up. I have to get some more iron, by the way. And I gotta see where we are at when it comes to our iron rod production. If it's filled up that container again, then maybe we should upgrade the Brew Factory Mark II and work our way back into iron rod constructors and then down into the smelters, which probably would be the better option. Probably require another 60 to 70 reinforced iron plate, but not like it's a problem, where right now our primary objective is to set up reinforced iron plate production, that we have enough of it to build our smart plating and to build up all of our belts from Mark II. Building nothing but Mark II. And it's shipping the stock over. I'm gonna take 3 more stacks to replenish my supply. And yes, we'll probably just upgrade straight from over. That's not what I want. We don't need modular frames yet. Modular frames will come in handy at a later date. We'll use those to build tractors. Hours and 7 minutes. Done by 2 hours and 40. So it's looking like we're going to be calling it right around. I hope screws are the limiting factor for how much more. We'll head upstairs and grab more reinforced iron plate as well. Plenty more to go. Looks like screws are the limiting factor. Grab any. I think that's well over 100 of those. We have 500, 169 actually. 168. Perfect. Let's go check upstairs and how much more we managed to time taking us to rack those up, along with the crew production that we had to build. Probably have a stack of 100 up here almost. Wow, pretty close. Alright, so this is what we're going to do first. So we've already upgraded the input, the outputs. Let's upgrade their input. Start at the back and work our way forward. Up there. On the conveyor because it's slow. Yeah, and the max conveyor you can actually run on conveyor Mark 3. Anything faster than that? Without Blade Runners, forget it. And Mark 4 is the fastest that you can put Blade Runners on. Mark 5, when you try to run on it, you're actually being pulled down the belt faster than you can run. So, upgraded. We're gonna start making our way towards the floor. Guys, it wasn't in It's close, but we're not there. We need zinc. Got a mark going up. Let's see how much more we have upstairs. Probably another, probably say 10 if we're lucky. Not going to be enough though. Inputs. Outputs. What, guys? Off to that reinforced iron plate that we saw over there at that junction. Go and sneak off a hog. Correctly, the island has hogs on. Completely barren. Not gonna complain. That's really odd. Don't ever find these types of things. So there's got 120 screws, 100 concrete, bunch of cable. Hard drive repairs are needed. We don't have. Oh shoot, that gave us another 20, it's not enough. No, it's not terrible, it could be a lot worse. At least we managed to complete all the primary objectives. We do have them producing, maybe not at the rate we'd like them to, are being. Might as well grab some concrete while I'm here. Wow, we've almost put 1,000 of time since we were last down here. Huh. Not bad. Not at all. That's going to be getting an upgrade here. Build the iron plate that we can right now. This might be enough to grab this real quick. So we can start doing smart things next episode. Perfect. Up she goes.
Milestone reached. You have been given access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on Exoplanet's bonus program, also known as AWESOME. Your awesome input allows Fixit to comprehend our amazing universe more clearly. In appreciation of this, we have generously set up an internal, closed economy with exclusive rewards and currency. Directing parts of varying quantity and complexity into the awesome resource sink will grant Fixit coupons. These coupons can be redeemed in the awesome shop for highly desirable items such as new foundations, walls, factory attachments, cosmetics, parts, and more. Next time you have additional resources, just remember to go that extra kilometer. Go awesome.
Remember if this is connected. It's connected directly there. Well, that puts us at odds, guys. We have done it. Put the objectives for the next round and then call it a night. Help you do that. Okay. So, when we pick up on Saturday, we're gonna start with the rotor production. Alright, so we don't have that already, so work that out. Then we'll do part plate. Next we will grab notepads. Then we will grab phase 1. Then grab a coal power. Copper sheet. And of course the last objective that's really important. The coal power facility. So those are our objectives for next, which will be on Saturday. So I bid you all farewell. Well, good night. This is Mechanic signing off. Catch you all